Hey, what's up, YouTubers? In case you guys didn't notice, I changed my YouTube channel name. It now reads 21 Shades of J. All I did was space everything out and remove the last Y from the J. So it makes it easier for people to find me.
Yeah, every day that's you and me.
So for those of you who clicked the video, I'm just gonna assume that you guys are interested in joining the Air Force. You just want to hear the perspective of somebody who's actually in the Air Force. So just to give you guys a little background information about myself, my name is Jarvis Edwards and I'm from the south side of Chicago. So I've been in the Air Force about 7 years now. On January 3rd of this year made 7 years for me. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do 20, but I take it one day at a time. I guess we'll see. I originally joined the Air Force for 6 years. Then I decided to re-enlist back in 2017. So currently I've been stationed in San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base, Guam, Anderson Air Force Base, and back to San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base. In between those times, I did get deployed to IUD Air Base in Qatar. So currently I'm a staff sergeant, which is an E5, and I have a line number for tech sergeant, which is E6. So for those of you who don't know, a line number simply means that I'm projected to put on the next rank. All right, so just to backtrack a little bit, back at my 2.5 year mark, I got senior and below zone. Senior and below zone, just an early promotion program. It's not given to everybody, it's only given to a select few. And it allows you to put on the rank of senior airman, which is E4, 6 months earlier than anybody else that joined with you, unless they got promoted to senior and below zone as well. So once I was awarded BTZ, I was able to test for staff sergeant earlier than my peers. I hit staff sergeant about my 3.5 year mark. Then I ended up testing for a tech about 2.5 years later, ended up making E6 in 6 years, and now I'm just waiting to put on that next rank. So my job in the Air Force is a dental assistant. For those of you who are familiar with the terminology, my AFSC, which is just my job, is 4Y0X1. So when I first joined the Air Force and I went to BMT and then tech school and learned my job, after that, I was stationed at Lackland Air Force Base, and that's where I assisted the doctor for the first 2 years of my career. We did crowns, root canals, extractions, all type of things, just day-to-day operational stuff. Then after 2 years, I became Provi trained. So Provi trained just means that I'm certified to clean teeth. So day in and day out, I started cleaning teeth every single day for about 3 years. That was back in Guam and then some at Lackland Air Force Base when I got stationed here again. After doing cleanings for 3 years, I then got sent to the front desk where I ran the front desk for about 1.5 years. Then I got deployed. So after my deployment, I was sent to the logistics section, and inside the logistics section, we just make sure that we have all supplies needed in order to perform the day-to-day operations of seeing patients. Simple, easy, that's it. Whew. All right, so now that all of that is out the way, let's get back to the meat and potatoes of the video, the pros and cons of joining the Air Force. So the number one pro for me of joining the Air Force is gonna be the free dental and health care. So with that free dental and health care, you can get seen for almost anything, whether it's you wanna get LASIK done to your eyes, PRK, whether you wanna see mental health, you're going through some things, you need some assistance with that. Whether you want to get braces, you want to get root canals, you need crowns, anything like that. I mean, I know you don't want to get a root canal, but if you do need that stuff as far as dental care goes, you want a cleaning done, you can get that stuff done. And if you are joining the Air Force after being on your own for some time, not fresh out of high school, then you do understand how much that stuff does cost, how much healthcare costs, how much braces cost, how much dental care in general costs. So it's a huge benefit of joining the Air Force as far as dental and healthcare goes. So the second pro of joining the Air Force would have to be the free college. Originally, that's what I intentionally joined for. I was told that I can go to college for free, the military would pay for it, and I could get my degree through the military, and I accepted it. So you are granted $4,500 in tuition assistance each year to attend classes. When I went to Ashford University for my bachelor's degree in business administration, every single class was $750. So if you take that $4,500 that you're granted and you take away each class $750, you're only allowed to take 6 classes per year. And if you're anything like me, that's not gonna be enough. So you do have other options. So after about 2 or 3 years, you are awarded your GI Bill, and you can start using your GI Bill even while you're on active duty status. I've been using my GI Bill to take extra classes because 6 classes a year didn't cut it for me. So I kept using my GI Bill. And if you don't use your GI Bill and you just want to take those 6 classes a year and just keep your GI Bill, at a later date you can transfer that GI Bill to your spouse or your dependents. So the third pro of joining the Air Force for me would have to be, once you get out the dorms, you receive BAH. BAH is just the housing allowance, so the money you get paid to have an apartment or a home. So I'll give you guys an example just so you have some type of perspective into what you get from that BAH. So my previous apartment was about $800 in rent, and I was awarded about $1350 for BAH monthly. So my rent was $800 and I was awarded $1350. So I paid my rent and then my utilities and everything, and I pocket the rest. When you guys do join, you get out the dorms, get a cheap apartment, just starting off, you know, unless you're married or whatnot, you know, then you won't be in the dorms, but get a cheap apartment, spend less, save more. That's gonna save you so much money. Like, pocketing that BAH is so helpful. So I suggest to you guys, make sure once you get in and you get your first apartment, make sure you get something cheap where you can save some money. All right, so the fourth pro of joining the Air Force is the potential to travel. So now I want you guys to pay attention that I said potential to travel, because the thing is, it's all based on the Air Force needs. So you might want to go to Greece or Germany or Japan or whatever, but it all depends on what the Air Force needs and the job that you're in. So like me, for instance, I've been stationed Lackland Air Force Base, Guam, and right back to Lackland Air Force Base. So it all depends on what the Air Force needs. They need me more at Lackland Air Force Base, so they send me here at Lackland Air Force Base. And just because you want to travel doesn't mean you're going to be able to travel or you're going to get stationed exactly where you want. So just keep that in mind when joining. So there are a bunch of military installations throughout the world, and if you are lucky enough to get stationed somewhere nice, you can go to other places. For instance, when I was in Guam, I went to the Philippines, I went to Thailand. I did a bunch of trips. One of my friends, he's in Germany. He went to Paris and all that good stuff. Like, the thing is, once you get stationed somewhere, you can still travel. So my biggest thing with this pro is just keep that in mind, that it is the potential to travel, not meaning that you're definitely gonna travel the world. So just keep that in mind, guys. I want you guys to know, but I still consider it a pro because you probably will at least once in your career. All right, so the number one con of joining the Air Force to me will have to be that it's a contract. Once you join the Air Force, it is a written contract. You cannot break that contract whatsoever, or you will be considered AWOL. So once you enlist, the military essentially owns you. Not saying that they're gonna do terrible things to you or nothing like that, but they do own you. You can't break that contract. So there are other ways that you can get released early out of your contract. For instance, getting pregnant, or you get kicked out. So I mean, you can pick which route you want to go, but once you're in, you're in. The Air Force owns you for however much time you enlisted for. All right, so number two on my cons list will have to be the rules in which we're told to follow. Some people aren't good at following rules. Some people don't like people telling them what to do. But the thing is, even if you work a civilian job, you're gonna have somebody telling you what to do. Unless you own your own company, your own business or whatever, you're gonna always have somebody over you who's gonna be telling you what to do. So there are a couple rules that some people feel is unnecessary. I say some people because I really don't care about it. I'm okay with following rules. So even though I'm from the south side of Chicago, I don't let that stuff bother me. Like, you tell me what to do, I get it done, that's it. But some people aren't good at following rules, so there are a few rules that people feel are unnecessary. For instance, you have shaving. For men, you have to shave every single day, making sure you don't leave anything. Unless you're on the shaving waiver like me, then you do have to shave. I'm on the shaving waiver, and my beard isn't supposed to be lined up. It isn't supposed to exceed about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm supposed to shave at least Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's pretty simple. Only way you can really get a shaving waiver is if your face is affected from shaving. So another rule that people feel is unnecessary is walking and talking in uniform. So the only way you can walk and talk in uniform on a cell phone is if it's an emergency. So I never understood why you would be walking and talking while it's an emergency. I feel like you can always just step aside and just stand right there and just get on the phone and talk. But even yet and still, if it is an emergency, you can walk and talk in uniform. So in regards to rules, most service members feel like one rule is unnecessary above all others. Not saying I feel this way, but some people have expressed that to me, and that rule is fraternization. So fraternization happens between an officer and an enlisted member. So it can be man and woman, woman and man, or man, woman, woman, whatever. So if you're an officer and you're enlisted, you're not supposed to come together, if you know what I mean. So even though you and that officer might be the same exact age, you might love each other, like each other, anything like that, you guys cannot be together. It's against the rules. So my only thing with fraternization is the fact that the only thing that separates you and that officer is that that person came in with a degree and you didn't. Some enlisted members do have degrees, do come in with degrees, but they didn't decide to go the officer route. So if you are thinking about joining the Air Force and you have a degree, please become an officer. So number 3 on my cons list will have to be the money and the pay in which we receive for being in the military. So despite what majority of the world may think, we don't make that much serving in the military. Everybody thinks that we get paid so much money, but we really don't. No, I saved all this. So we don't really get paid that much money. Even though we're serving our country and putting ourselves on the back burner, we don't get paid much for what we do day in and day out. My recommendation to everybody who's considering joining is gonna be to go look at the Air Force pay chart and see what you'll be coming in as and what the starting base pay for that rank is. So you can see all the other ranks and everything like that. So if you do plan on coming in, I would take a look at the pay chart and just make sure you're comfortable with making what we're making. So it's somewhat of a sacrifice because we go through so much and we don't get paid as good as some people believe we should. I'm okay with the pay. I've never had a problem with it. I manage fine. But some people really have a true issue with how much we get paid. So if you're thinking about joining, make sure to type in Google Air Force pay chart and check to see how much we get paid. So that brings me to the number 4 on my cons list. So with making a sacrifice, we also make a sacrifice of being away from home. So you have to know prior to joining that you're gonna miss birthdays, holidays, funerals, weddings, graduations, all type of things. You're gonna miss so much stuff joining the Air Force or joining the military in general. The thing is, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're gonna miss every single event, every single life event that your family, your friends go through, but you're gonna miss some of them, whether it's due to manning, whether it's due to not having enough leave saved up. You're gonna miss some things. Like, the thing is, just prepare for it. I've missed graduations, I've missed weddings, I've missed funerals. It's just one of those burdens that you have to carry. The thing is, you're an adult now, and you just have to carry that burden. That's simple and easy. So guys, there you have it. Those are my pros and cons of joining the Air Force. I first want to say that this is just how I feel. All this is based off stuff I've either heard or stuff I've been through myself. So I just want to let you guys know, sort of like a disclaimer. Like, don't take anything I say word for word. I want you guys to take everything I tell you with a grain of salt. And that goes for anything anybody else tells you. Whether it's your recruiter, whether it's a friend that joined the military, take every single thing with a grain of salt. That's it. That's the whole video. I try to make it pretty short. I think it's about 15 minutes, so my bad. Hopefully you guys watched it. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you guys ask me questions. Give me some video ideas. Give me something to talk about. That's all I ask. So until next time, peace, love to y'all. I'm out. Hey, I like turtles. Shit. Cut. How I look?
Like a snitch?
Perfect. What's up, YouTubers? In case you guys didn't notice, I changed my YouTube channel name. It now reads 21 Shades of J. All I did was space everything out and take the extra Y off of J. So it makes people fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. I'm at the fucking end.
I'm gonna kill you, Mom. Oh, shit.
So as I'm sure you guys know, my name is Peaches and I'm the best. Alright, for real.
You know what happened after you made BTZ.
I don't remember.
And was able to test. But you keep stopping like, what part was I reading that? Just say what happened.
I don't remember. I wasn't there. I'm panicked. Y'all ain't giving the notes. I got the notes. Shit. So when I first joined and got out of tech school, I assisted a doctor for the first 2 years. Idiot.